But let me also bring on board Rohit Jeswani, founder of Stallion Asset Management, joining in this morning. Great to have you on the show, Amit. What are the screens telling you? Of course, we've seen, in fact, we are bracing for a very euphoric up move, on the markets today. But would you say that, looking at the screen, you feel a little cautious going forward, given the kind of valuations these levels command? I mean, how would you look at the next 5-6 months in the run up to the general elections?
I was more scared on Friday evening than I am today. So today I don't feel so scared. Of course, the election results have been what the markets wanted, and FIs should be buyers very soon because the 10-year bond yields are coming down. So for last 2 years, if you see your Nifty 50 returns, they've been 1,500, 1,700 points in 2 years. So you're not even up 10% in 2 years, and that is a perfect setup that you're looking out for. So Nifty has not done anything for last 2 years. It's only the small caps which have done well. FIs are, if the bond yields keep going down, which is expected, FIs should become very large buyers. And now there is certainty. Market bets on certainty, and there's a very, very high probability that 2024 we'll have exactly the same policies, exactly the same government. So the market, of course, now is going to get a bit more euphoric, and bull markets are about valuations going higher. It's always going to be scary. You're always going to be uncomfortable, but prices will keep moving higher. That's how bull markets are made. And so you have to ride it. You have to make it large. This not just this 6 months, but this decade.
So Amit, good morning. Obviously, a great day for markets. I mean, we might see a gap up opening. The mood, as you rightly said, was more nervous a month ago, nervous on Friday, and today, obviously, we're all more optimistic than ever in the last few months, for sure. So the thing is, bull markets climb a wall of worry, and right now we see no worries. Election, like you said, seems like a certainty. State elections, people were slightly skeptical. Maybe there will be a outcome that would not augur favorably. But still, we were taking consonance in the fact that general elections will play out as expected. Now, elections done and dusted. The outcome for general election, almost the market feels is foregone conclusion. There is more or less consensus towards the fact that the rates are peaking out globally. So what is the worry that will keep the markets moving?
Valuations. So everyone will keep speaking about valuations. Markets are about valuations, growth, and liquidity all the time. These are the three things that matter. And right now, liquidity should ease before the elections in the US. Valuations are going to be a bit uncomfortable, and the quality of stocks that will move higher will not be there in majority of people's portfolio. I was meeting so many and speaking to so many people, and the kind of stocks that everyone's getting into is very different, like from HPCL, BPCL, ONGC, IOC, Coal India. So these are like the new leaders which are getting from power stocks like Tata Power, JSW Energy. There's a lot, like, of course, we may or may not have any positions in these stocks. These are not recommendations, but there are new leaders which are getting created right now. And the markets every 18 months, it's just been changing leaders from chemicals to tech in the previous cycle to this cycle being about defense and railways. So newer things can also come, and stay tuned. This is an exciting journey. And see, the thing is that the last 5 years, when Modi ji got elected, we've done well. The next 5 years, if we have the same government, you have to dream big and achieve it. And but make sure you're with stocks which are growing at 20, 25, 30%. Like that's what we do. And where you can get reasonable enough valuations. If you can get these two things, because liquidity is not in our control. We are mostly always invested. We'll always be outperforming because your companies are growing faster than the broad indexes and your valuations are reasonable enough. If you can just focus on these two things, you'll do all right, regardless of which government comes into power.
Sure. And over the next 3 to 6 months, where do you see maximum traction build up? I mean, where will momentum flow?
Wherever markets have expectations of earnings. So for defense, for be it railways, be it power stocks, you see the entire pack is making a new high together, be it Tata Power, Adani Power, JSW Energy, the entire power related things. This is 2003, the rally. This rally, I would say the closest to this rally has been 2003 to 2007, where it started with PSU banks and it's moving from one sector to another every 6 months. And now it's power time. So everyone wants exposure towards power stocks, and probably that might lead the next phase of this cycle. See, India's total renewable generation capacity is about 1,300 gigawatt, and that is moving towards 2,600 gigawatts in the next 7 years. You're doubling your power generation in the next 7 years. Majority of that will come from renewables. That is a very, very, very large theme. So be it NTPC, be it Tata Power, be it JSW Energy, that is where the focus is, and that is where very large money. So because why do these power companies don't make money? Because there are a lot of problems. Do you have a PPA? Do you not have a PPA? Do you have coal? Do you not have coal? This volatility of coal is very high. So these things make it very tough. But once you have a solar or a wind generation, you already know, you can predict that the sun will rise and you'll make money. So investments are just upfronted, and then there is no investment. There is no operational investments going forward. So that is a game changer which is happening. And majority of the capex for all these companies, the incremental ROICs of power companies is changing. Now that we don't have so much exposure there, but we are unfortunately, we are looking at everything very closely now. Right now, the next 5 months till March, the markets will discount everything that it can. So markets will not wait for May. The markets will discount May and March itself.
Right. I've been talking about the power space, right? But what about the Adani group of stocks? After the SC observation, Supreme Court's observation, we've seen a very smart uptick coming in on the Adani group of stocks. How do you see the road ahead panning out for this particular group of stocks?
See, money is made in finding who will be the next Adani. I was just seeing Adani, and my team members just said me that Adani, when last time Modi won in 2019, Adani Enterprises was at $30. Today it's at 2,300 with multiple demergers in play. So you need to find a newer leader. Of course, Adani valuations is very expensive for us to be invested, but their execution is top notch. The way they can execute top infrastructure projects, what they have built is incredible. But valuations are very, very, very expensive. Makes very tough. It's a very tough case for making long-term investments, but because of valuations. But in India, I have not seen many people executing like Mr. Gautam.
You said, investors should be looking for the next Adani, and that is always the pursuit for most investors in most sectors. So where are you building your positions? I mean, where are the, of course, you talked about renewable space, but anywhere else that is visible to you that this is the right time, because despite the fact that valuations in mid caps, small caps are arguably high, do you see opportunities there where positions can be built up, strong positions can be built up at current levels?
Mahalakshmi ji, for the next Adani, while I don't know who will be the eventual next Adani or next multi-bagger, but I can tell you one thing for sure. We are in stock markets, we are so lucky that every 90 days we are getting numbers of companies, right? For anyone to be the next Adani, he has to grow at 40, 50, 60%. And it will happen every 90 days. So when you see a large opportunity, a great promoter, and he keeps growing at 60, 70, 40%, 30%, quarter over quarter, every 90 days. That's the only way you'll have to ride it, and you'll have certainty. So you need promoters, and you need to track earnings every quarter. It can happen across renewables. It can happen in new tech. It can happen in so many sectors. Today, India is the most open economy. So there was a time, Mahalakshmi ji, that we used to be very narrow in markets, right? Only 25 stocks moving higher, 30 stocks moving higher, but that's not the case today. Everything, of course, those 25 names would keep repeating, with newer names, it would come, those 25 names. But right now, the markets are very, very, very broad, and entrepreneurs are, See, in India, Mahalakshmiji, one thing which has changed is in India, entrepreneurship is 100 years old. And for hundreds of years, we've seen entrepreneurs having one shops, etc. But hyperscaling is something which is new, which is coming. The way you speak to entrepreneurs, the way they speak. Today in India, you have 9 lakh medical stores, 9 lakh. The largest guy is 5,000, which is Apollo. Next largest is 4,000, which is MedPlus. Third largest is 300 stores, which is Wellness Forever. So the entire out of 9 lakh stores, the largest 3 players is 1% of the market. No recommendations, of course. We might not have these exposures, but I'm telling you that these medical shops guys were not scaling till today. They were just sitting on their own galla and making money. That thing is changing in a very big way, and you need to find entrepreneurs. And the best thing ever for us is quarterly numbers. 90 days and you know that you made a mistake or you're doing okay.
Well, that's an interesting perspective coming in. Of course, entrepreneurship, that's where, the leadership lies. But with that, we've come to the end of this edition of Morning Trade. But of course, ML will stay back and join my colleague Nikki in Opening Bell. So stay tuned for that. But it's a goodbye from me. Thanks a lot for tuning in. But don't go anywhere because we are starting with Opening Bell in just about a minute.